Hi there, I'm Christopher Dunnigan. This is HandmadeInVermont.com, and today we're talking about the Hubbardton Forge Vertex floor lamp. This is going to be the 241103. A lot of details, so let's jump in. Let's talk about the size of the fixture itself. 83.1 inches tall, 56 inches wide, so it has quite a reach going on with it. Depth on it is only 13.5 inches. You know, a lot of people are going to use this in lots of different situations, like maybe putting it behind a sofa, trying to get it way out so people can read way out on that sofa, maybe a sectional. Lots of good applications for this. People will also probably even use this in places where they don't have any overhead lighting and they want to bring a light over a table. I've seen that happen a lot too. Let's get into a little bit more detail on this. So let's talk about the arm on this. Actually allows you to go up and down. So your shade is on the end, has a little dial on the pole part of it where the two kind of come together like that. Well, how do I do this? Like that. And you undo that switch a little bit, that little dial, and you can articulate this up and down. It's pretty cool. Like that a lot. Other than that, there's another little cool thing is on the finish on this. So when you're picking the finish, you're going to see choose a finish for the fixture, choose a finish for the shade, and you're going to be able to do them in the same finish, or you can do them in contrasting finishes, and that shade is called an accent. So that's another cool little thing about that too. The dimmer wand on this is basically an on-off switch that kind of comes up from the base and has a little turn on it. You'll hear a click, and it'll unclick, and you can turn it on and off and dim it to your heart's content. What else? Well, let's get into a couple other things. Talk about the glass on this. So it's going to be using Hubbardton Forge's white art glass. And the white art glass is basically an opaque glass, has a little bit of a pattern kind of running through it. It's basically high-end stained glass that they would use in like church windows. And it's made, I think, in Connecticut. Very pretty glass. It's used on a lot of Hubbardton Forge fixtures. Light can cut through it, but you're not going to be able to see the socket, which is very important. And will kind of lead us into what's going to be used inside of this, which you're going to want to know more about. So, this piece of glass is going to be large enough to put in what's called an A19. A19 is a standard size light bulb. This is the one we all grew up with. This is just a good old-fashioned incandescent bulb from our past by Philips. This is an A19 LED. And this is kind of the one that has the LEDs inside and the plastic shield on it. This is a phosphorus LED. You can find these out in the world too. These all come from my local drugstore. I think I find these at hardware stores, home centers, even like CVS carries this stuff. This guy is a tubular one called a T8, and this is actually used in exit signs. These generally max out at 60 watts or 60 watt equivalent, depending if you're doing incandescent or LED. But it's a cool one you can put in there too. Just remember, these are going to be a 60 watt deal either way you cut it. When you get into these, I have found these out in the marketplace, and I think I found them at Walmart when I was really looking for light bulbs in a good place. 100 watt equivalent LED, and there's just more of these phosphorus lines going on inside of this, and I think it was either Westinghouse or General Electric, but it was a good bulb. I bought a ton of them, and Home Depot also might have them. But it was a dimmable one, and that's going to be pretty important because remember, you've got a dimmer on this, and that 150, I think it was, yeah, either 100 watt equivalent or up to 150 watt equivalent was pretty important to me because I want to get a lot of light out of my floor lamps. It's very important to me. The color of that light is also pretty important. We talk about it in every video that has LEDs going on. This is going to be offered to you, well, before we go there, this is a medium base socket. I think I forgot to mention that. So this is just a very easy bulb to find out in the world. There's nothing special about this. This is the one we all grew up with. There you go. So it's important. Should have brought that up earlier, but I didn't. But it's okay. Now let's talk about the color of the light coming out of LEDs. I talk about it in every video. They're going to be offering you these in lots of different ways. So 2700 Kelvin is that super yellow light. It's kind of like almost like an orange glow, like a setting sun. That's 2700 Kelvin. They're also going to be offering you these bulbs in what's called daylight. And daylight sounds like a warm light. It's not a warm light. That's like a cold hospital waiting room light or a convenience store or overcast day. That's that whitish blue light that's out there. Some people really like that. You can actually get more lumens out of the whiter light than you can out of the more yellow light. It's just the way LEDs work. But in the middle of all that, and mind you, that bluish white light called the daylight is going to be 4,000, 5,000 Kelvin. In the middle of all that is going to be something called warm white. And warm white is a nice warm, these are warm white LEDs above me, 3,000 Kelvin. and easy to find out there in the world too. It mimics incandescent light. Remember our friend here, our incandescent bulb? So this is the light coming down on me, feels and looks a lot like that. We use 3000 Kelvin LEDs all over our showroom. People think we're using incandescent light. We have to really point out that we're using LEDs. But the other very important thing is when you're looking at these, choose the color temperature that's right for you and just make sure they are dimmable. Let's get into metal finishes now. If you are on the HandmadeInVermont.com website, look over in the red tabs with the pictures in them over there. You're going to see a Finishes Help Guide tab. Open that up for me. It's going to be a video there of me talking to you guys about the differences in Hubbardton Forge finishes, how they can look on different types of forging. I'm going to be referencing a chart just down below, so scroll down a little bit. You're going to see a chart. You can click on that chart, so you can click on dark smoke, you can click on soft gold, doesn't matter. Big page will pop up showing you lots of different things in that finish. You can go back to the chart and you'll notice there's letters A's on them, letter B's on some of those things, and that's going to be showing you this range of variants that you can expect to see on different translucent finishes, but I'll talk about all of that in the video, okay? Okay, showroom. Our showroom in Vermont has over 400 Hubbardton Forge fixtures. This is the biggest showroom in the world of Hubbardton Forge. No other showroom is like this. Hubbardton Forge doesn't even have their own showroom. They use this one. What's on display? We have a great tab on that. In those same red tabs, you're going to see a What's on Display page. So open that up. It's going to show you everything we have on display, and including which finish, which shade, all of those things, and what kind of glass it's on there. We're open every day except Sunday, 11 to 6. I'm here every day except Sunday from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Eastern Time. We also have an amazing clearance center. Clearance center stuff is 75% off MSRP. It's returns, discontinued stuff, showroom samples. You have to come here to use it. Can't call us or email us about it, but it's definitely worth coming in to look at if you're in Vermont. Plus you want to use the showroom anyway because there's just so much great stuff here to see. Our number in Vermont, 802-446-2400. You can email us 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. Love to answer emails, and it's sales@HandmadeInVermont.com. So when you order from HandmadeInVermont.com, shipping is going to be free to every state except Alaska and Hawaii. No tax if we ship out of the state of Vermont. And we're the only dealer with 90-day returns, no restocking fee. Nobody else does that. Some larger items are going to be non-returnable. It's going to be really important that you are looking at the fixture on that page and kind of scroll down under the description. It'll tell you if that is the case. And that's usually for really big, giant, huge fixtures, mostly that go out on pallets. Okay, that's it. Rush program. Let's talk about that. So rush program, Hubbardton Forge generally takes about 3 to 4 weeks to go out the door. That's production time before your transit time. You always have to add that on too. We offer a rush program that takes you from that 3 to 4 weeks down to a little under 2 weeks. It's a very small addition per line item. So if you have like 1, 2, 3 items, like let's say 3 or 4 outdoor sconces, and they're all the same size and they're all the same finish, that's one line item. So it's very inexpensive to rush those kind of things. Don't be afraid to email us and ask about that. Okay, so that's really it. If you guys have any other questions, let us know. We would love to see you in our showroom sometime. And thanks for stopping in.